And we are live. You are tuning in with myself, Lithia McCann, and Biden McDonald on the Contradiction Essay.
That's right, guys. This is the Contradiction Essay. Just remember, Facebook is a private owned interface. So if you do get logged out, just go back onto the page. That's the Contradiction Essay. You'll find a new link. But first of all, we have a brilliant guest. He's a CEO, the CEO of Smart Finances, an entrepreneur, motivational speaker, empowerment coach indeed. He built a six-figure business straight from the United States.
Mr. TC Chambers, welcome all the way from the United States.
Thank you. And I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy to join you all. I feel like I'm in South Africa with you right now.
Wow, I'm loving your T-shirt representing.
Representing, absolutely. That was Springbok right here, absolutely.
Lovely, awesome. Mr. TC Chambers, tell us a bit more about yourself. What's been keeping you busy?
Well, first of all, I'm originally from Philadelphia, born and raised, but I'm a Florida boy now. No more snow in my life unless I go skiing. Right now, it's just really about aligning with great folks like yourself and your sister Marcy internationally, and just seeing how we can serve others in every aspect to make their lives better. I spend the bulk of my time on the finance side, helping people with finances, but have come to realize that where we are today has a lot to do with how we think and what we do. So I've been delving in, learning more and impacting more people's lives from a mental and a spiritual basis. And then start talking about frequency. And so, yeah, just about, being a blessing to others.
Awesome. That is wonderful. Seeing that you are a motivational speaker and empowerment coach, that is awesome. So, Mr. TC Chambers, the reason why we have you is to discuss our upcoming topic, which is, should couples live together before marriage? And we'd love to hear your take on this topic. What is your viewpoint based on this topic?
Well, when we were behind the scenes a little bit, we started talking about perspectives, and everyone has their own. There's a saying that goes around in America, and I'm sure they probably heard it in South Africa too, about everyone's opinions. It's like something, and it's still all stink, except for your own. But I would say on this particular topic, first and foremost, I think the two individuals have to be in alignment with what they believe, spiritually, their higher being, the frequency, the universe. Once that's taken care of, then it's about you being ultimately responsible for your happiness.
Exactly.
You're ultimately responsible for your happiness. So whatever works for the two of you, that's what it should be. Because
but then
we can talk about the pros.
People force their views.
Say again?
Again, in today's day and age, people force their views, people force their opinions, and that's the life we live today.
Yeah.
Yes, and also people manipulate others into believing their opinions. So you might have your own models and your own values, but people, like Biden said, enforces their viewpoint. So the reason why we created the show is to show that there are different perspectives. There's never a right and a wrong. Everything is based on what works for you and how you want to live your life.
Of course, there is. But there is a point of right and wrong in some instances. And especially when it comes to this also, because society has built this thing called marriage, this whole fantasy of you need to get married and you need to be with someone is going to be sacred if you're married with someone. And I was previously married and I believe in marriage. I'm all for marriage. And in today's day and age, it's such a fast movement. I'm actually open-minded that couples should actually move in together before getting married, And I think Lithia strongly believes against that because it takes away the sacredcy, it takes away everything. But I think just on a financial point, come on, you're a finance guru. Doesn't it make sense to move in with someone before marriage?
Well, if you're looking from a financial perspective, you're consolidating. So instead of 2 rents or 2 mortgages, you now have 1. Instead of 2 cable bills and packages, you now have 1. 2 alarm systems, you now have 1. Renter's insurance or homeowner insurance, you now have 1.
Okay.
From a consolidation perspective, and you're saving by being together, that means more you now can put towards your retirements. So from a financial perspective, there's some pros to it. But then from the opinion perspective and from a religious perspective, some people look at some cons to it. I like to look at the pros though. Like if you're going to be with someone for the rest of your life and you truly want to get to know someone, you don't really get to know someone when you have your little weekend getaways or 1 week vacation. You can adapt to a situation for 1 week. You can do anything for 1 week. But when you have to do it over and over and over again, that one little thing that bothered you on that Saturday morning that you overlook it every day. That one little remark that you wanted to comment on, but you didn't because of vacation, you're going to comment it on if you're together for the rest of your life. So you might as well get all those things out the way now.
Exactly.
Well, Marcy McCann says in the comments, she says, I think moving in before marriage, it really helps you to get to know the other person a little better. I think if you're looking at it from a point of testing one's compatibility, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why people choose to move in together. And my personal viewpoint is, well, I've spoken to a lot of men, and many of them said to me that they know exactly within the first 6 months to a year whether or not they want to marry that woman. And by moving in together, I think that the people already know what the grading of that test is going to be. They're just hoping that it's going to improve over time. So a man, he knows, and so does a woman. And I think that by moving in together to test compatibility, you can do that even if you're not living together. And if you're looking at it from a financial perspective, marriage offers the same type of...
But just not at the financial perspective. It's just so many people put marriage as like it's a sacred thing. I believe in marriage. Let's leave it there. But the thing is, it's also based on trust. It's like you don't trust that person. Oh, I need to put this piece of paper down there. You need to get married to me, so I know you're going to be with me at the end of the day. Who doesn't say that I want to be with you? There's life partners out there that believes in marriage. They want to get married, but they believe if we're together, it's fine. It's fine. We can share all these things together. We trust each other. So you saying it's a commitment thing, I understand. But isn't it also trust issues when you have to force to get married before you living with that person?
Okay, so here's my question: why wouldn't you want to get married before living with? Why wouldn't you want to get married first? Why would you opt for living together? Doesn't that mean then that there's more of a lack of trust in that aspect because you don't believe in that person enough, or you don't have trust in that person enough to make them your life partner by marriage or through marriage? If you believe in the covenant of marriage and if you believe in the values of marriage.
Yes, but again, like I said, it's a different day and age. And sorry, I want to bring TC in so much, but we keep on going back and forth with this. It's a different day and age. Like I said, I believe in marriage. But the thing is that we're living in such a fast world, so many opportunities, so many information that we're fed with. There's so many temptations out there. And yes, there's so many temptations out there. So I'm not saying that, yes, put the pen and paper down. People cheat no matter if you're married or not.
Okay.
So it's also, you get to understand this person, as Marcy said previously in the comments. You get to understand the person. You get to know this person's ways. Yes, people can fabricate their ways. People can be manipulators for 2 or 3 years. But then again, in today's day and age, it's a forced system. Again, I believe in marriage, but it's a forced system. It's put down there that you should get married. It's rules put down a couple of thousands of years ago. But it doesn't mean that it's a foolproof system. So it doesn't make a difference if you move in with the person beforehand. It just means you care about that person and you're taking in consideration the economy. You're taking in consideration a lot of other things, because now you give someone a marriage and you say, okay, let's move in together and we get married first. But now you give that person a marriage she doesn't want because you're a woman. And I'm being I'm being funny by saying this. Sometimes we'll go back, oh, you did not give me the wedding I want. I wanted a special wedding, but I could not afford it.
But that's agreements that you make prior to marry.
Yes, but still.
And besides, that's beside the point. Listen, if think about it this way: if you go into a car dealership and you want to buy a car, and the dealership tells you, listen, you can drive this car for about 3 years or whichever time you want to drive this car, and when you're ready to pay for this car or to commit to buying this car, then just let me know. After 3 years, the car breaks down. Are you going to actually invest in that broken car after driving it for 3 years? When it starts giving problems? Or are you going to change your mind and decide to go and get yourself another car?
Well, look at the other way. Suppose you go to the dealership. Wait, look at the other way. You go to the dealership and they say, oh, no, buy it and then go ahead with it.
Well, that's a car. That's a car. That's
No, you can't test drive it. You can't test drive it. Just buy it. Go. But no, that's not the point I wanted to make. That's not the point I really wanted to make. I was just being facetious with that one. Would you agree that not everyone is authentic and will manipulate a situation to get what they want?
Oh, that's a question.
Would you agree that not everyone is authentic and will manipulate a situation to get what they want?
Yes.
Now, if you agree with that, then you have to agree with some people want to get married no matter what. They just want to get married because I have to be married. So if that's the case, I'm going to put on my best front so I can get married. You're going to see the me that I need you to see so you can marry me and I can make my family happy and everybody happy. But now we're living together. We got all those things. And now the real me comes out.
Exactly.
But it wasn't fair to you because you didn't get to see the real me because I'm hiding the real me from you.
And that can happen even when you're living together. So if you say, okay, I want to live for about 6 months to a year, the same thing can happen. They can show you the best of themselves for those 6 months up until after marriage.
But my thing is,
it's harder to do it for 6 months. It's easier to do it for weekends, and then I go back home and you go back home. It's much easier to do that.
If you're not opting for marriage, here's the thing. If you want to live together, my personal viewpoint is that most people, they still want to keep the back door open. They still want to keep the options open.
But that's got nothing. That's a trust issue. That's a trust issue.
Let me speak. I did not interrupt you.
Okay.
They still want to keep the back door open. They still want to keep the options open. How are you supposed to fully give yourself in love and in commitment to somebody that's not willing to make a lifetime commitment with you? Because if anything goes wrong, they want to up and leave.
But that's
if a person feels like that, they feel like that whether you move in or not. If that's their spirit with you, whether you're moving or not, they feel like that. If they're not all in, they're not all in. Whether y'all live together first or get married first, they're not all in.
Again, it's a trust issue. I keep on saying, I believe in marriage. I'm going to go back to it I love the sacrament of marriage, being a Christian. Let's put it like that. I don't want to push religious views or anything. But the thing in the end of the day is, it's a trust issue in the end of the day if you force marriage upon someone. Because again, like TC said earlier, people are manipulators. They will manipulate you to a point to get married and say, oh, baby, if we're together, I would marry you and I'll stay with you forever. Look here, here's the piece of paper that say we're legally together. I see couples cheating on each other during marriage. Prenuptial agreements are out there. So what is making it sacred in the end of the day? Yes, because you believe in marriage, because it's something society has brought on us. If we want to go back to religion, yes, religion has brought it upon us. It's something sacred between somebody. And I agree with you. The mystery is always there also. So it's nice not to move in with someone for the mystery, the sake of mystery. But then again, I believe you should move into someone because it's a fast day and age, and so many information is there up, so many temptations are out there. So I would not like to get to know this ass before I marry this ass.
Okay, so if things didn't work out within the first 6 months or a year, you want to leave you want to leave the person after
you can do that in marriage also. It's just a piece of paper that's keeping you bounded, but it's just going to take longer for me to leave you.
If it's just a piece of paper and you see marriage as that little value, then why not just go get the piece of paper? If it's just
some people do that. Some people
so why are people so afraid of getting that piece of paper if it's such little value to them?
Because it was ingrained in us for many years.
So why do people still choose to live together but still have the intention of getting married, but see the living together as a trial period, but still believe in marriage?
Okay.
So if marriage is such little value, then why not just get the piece of paper?
Why do you want to succeed in life?
Excuse me?
Why do you want a success in life? Why do you want to make money in life? I know it sounds like a rhetorical to survive. Exactly. But you need money to survive. It's like a need, right? So it became a need in society today. That's why you get people that's in lesbian and gay relationships. They fight for marriage because society is making it such a big thing that you need to be married. And some people are atheists even because they've also bought into it, the sacrament of marriage, but they don't have any religion because society has suppressed it upon us that, yes, if you're not married, you're not a couple. But I can be more of a couple with you than someone that's married to someone else for 25 years and depressed in that relationship because been forced in that marriage to stay in that marriage with a piece of paper, not bounded like you didn't disturb me earlier, not bounded by trust, because I believe if you want to marry someone, there should be a foundation of trust in the beginning.
Exactly. So why would you want to take somebody on a trial period? If that means you don't trust?
I have a question.
You have some opinion. I would.
Okay, let's see. Is it Narman? September. So, let's just. I can't see this. Says, I think that people, especially older, can be more in love with the idea of being married as opposed to marriage itself.
As Adelicia Peters.
That's Adelicia Peters. I still feel very strongly on marriage, and I think that it's especially women that after living together want to get
now
married.
It's becoming a sex thing.
No, it's not a sex thing, but look, okay, I read up on a study done through the Relationship Development Institute that found that in today's era, the millennials, most of them choose, about 60% of people end up cohabitating. But of that 60%, they also did a behavioral study and a psychological study. They found that a very high number of those 60% of people suffer from abandonment, anxiety of abandonment. They also have a higher possibility of suffering from depression. And however, with the 40% of people, also they did another study that found that about more of those, a higher number of those 40% of people that waited to move in together after marriage actually lasted for over 10 years, or at least made the decade mark.
Okay.
Where more of those 60%
you're going behind statistics. I'm sorry, TC, we're going to bring you in now. We're going to bring you in now.
People didn't even make it to the 60% of people wouldn't even make it to marriage and end up marrying somebody that they weren't even living with.
Then you're doing something again. You're doing it again. What humans are suppressed us to do, going behind statistics. Each of us are individuals as humans on this planet.
Correct.
Someone different than me could believe differently. We're going behind statistics in a small group, going out in different parts of the group. We're a globe, more than 7 billion people, and you're going to investigate in small little areas.
Well,
people as rich. I know dirt poor people that can't even get married. Can't get married in court, can't get married somewhere else, but they're more happier than that flipping rich billionaire up there, married to his posh wife that said, "No, baby, we need to get married. Put it on a piece of paper because I'll trust you."
But you can
even sign a piece of paper. But I know people that's married by heart. So why? Again, they believe in the sacrament of marriage because they believe in loving each other. So yeah, read the comments.
I don't believe you guys aren't a couple. I don't believe it. You're just really good friends.
Sorry, TC. What's your point of view? We have guests here.
We used to go at it like that all the time. So I'm only teasing when I say that. But this is a good topic because, again, sometimes we have to look at fears. I think from a woman perspective, even from a men's perspective as well, is that they've seen people. So people say you strongly believe in marriage. They've seen people that live together, and then ultimately did not get married. Someone was happy about it. Someone was sad about it. The person that was sad about it, many cases, wish they would have got married first, as if that would have made the relationship last longer. The relationship going to stand the test of time. The ingredients have to be there, period. Whether they live together first or they get married first. The core ingredients with the two loving each other, they're very compatible, their energy and frequency are in line. That has to be there, period, whether they live together first or they get married first. In order for the relationship to last, those things have to be in place, period. The mutual respect, all of that has to be in place, period. If those things aren't there, it doesn't matter if they wait 10 years separate and then get married, or live together 5 years and decide to get married. If the core elements, the respect, the trust, the visions are the same, they understand each other. If those things aren't there, it really don't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people, they wait on marriage because they're not ready to accept the responsibility of marriage, but they're quick to moving together. They rush into moving together, and they're not even ready themselves to make that commitment of moving in together. So that's why I'm against cohabitating, or not. At the end of the day, it's all what works for you. You need to do whatever works for you. But the problem with cohabitating is people rush into it when they're not even ready to give themselves fully to that person. So if they're not ready for marriage, then I feel that they should also take their time before choosing to move in with somebody, because just getting to know yourself and taking time out for yourself is very important. Self-development is very important before you move in with somebody and give so much of yourself to somebody else.
Okay, so how about this?
I love my space. I love living on my own.
You got a guy you're dating for 5 years. So you date for 5 years separately, right? So you for 5 years you're getting to know each other. You're developing. He's developing, and then he goes, "Babe, let's move in together."
Well, why the hell are you going to marry me after 5 years? You should have known after 6 months that you want to marry me. Damn, God, 5 years of dating? Hell no, brother, you're going to flip and marry me.
Wait.
Hell no.
We've got Herschel Flotman actually saying, he says, staying together before you get married should not happen because you could still be living a life before you marry.
Living a lie before you marry.
Living a lie before, yeah.
Well, I think this. You're absolutely right. However, if for 6 months you're living together and you're living the lie, as soon as you get married, you're going to be living that same lie.
Mm-hmm.
If you're living the lie, it ain't going to change. It ain't going to become truth once y'all get married.
Look,
if I got a side chick, we living together, but I got a side chick. Well, guess what? If we were married, I'd have that same side chick. If we're living together, I'm making you pay all the bills. When we get married, guess what? That's what you paying all the bills. So if we got married first, you still be paying all the bills.
The problem is that people want the benefits of marriage. They want, but they don't want to. They don't want to accept the responsibility.
The question is based on what?
What are the benefits? What are the benefits of marriage?
Financial benefits, sexual benefits, emotional benefits.
Then it's again a trust issue. So marriage is a trust contract.
Let me ask you this. What benefit?
Yes, it is a contract.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So,
moving into the financial benefits. I mean, I don't agree with that. No ways.
No, I'm saying that
you're basing that relationship on the wrong foundation. If it's financial, no.
I think we got.
Plenty of people. They then get stuck into living with somebody because they're so financially dependent on that person, even though they are unhappy with that person.
No, let's look at some other angles. Let's look at it for some positive spins on it. If two people decided to live together before getting married, so it's not saying this is why to do it, but if they said, well, listen, the wife, the female, because usually it's the female that wants the big weddings, right?
Mm-hmm.
That money's gonna have to come from somewhere. So they said, well, listen, baby, let's live together for 6 months, 8 months, so we can save up the $30,000 we're gonna need for the wedding. Because you're consolidating. If that's one of them decides to want, and if that's a part of the strategy, that's not just being disrespectful to the other person when you guys are living together. It's a strategy to allow you to be able to do what you really want to do. So it doesn't have to be a matter of disrespecting, of getting an advantage or getting something now that I can't get later. It's not especially these days, it's not a matter of having sex before marriage or not having sex. Because just because two people aren't living together before they get married, don't mean they aren't sleeping together before they get married.
There should be an agreement. There should be an engagement and a date. Or if that's the case, then there should be an agreement for that commitment of marriage. I mean, that's the thing. But a lot of people moving together without even knowing if they want to marry this person. They're using it as a
let's leave the contract. I'm going to throw myself underneath the bus. Let's leave the contract and all those things. So I'm going to agree for 5 seconds with Lethea for 5 seconds. So yes, in today's day and age, people want the mystery of, like, let's say a lot of women out there, I speak to a lot of females, I would like to believe, and they like mystery. So there's no mystery into moving in with somebody because it becomes monotonous. So yes, I agree with her. It's then becomes something sacred. If you put it in that way, it becomes something sacred then, because then you're building this mystery. What if one day this thing called marriage, this next step, we move in together, it's the next step. Now you're building a monotonous streak. So I do agree with you in that point, but I don't agree with you that it should be enforced in some people.
No, I'm not saying it should be enforced.
I know it's your belief, but I'm saying that's where I will then back it up. I would say, yes, give that mystery, because everybody, like a relationship, like people change every single day. Your partner could be a different person the next day. So that's the same when it comes to building up towards marriage, because marriage is now like getting your degree. I would put it as. It's a bit shallow to put it that. It's like getting a degree. So wait, let me just build up, study a little bit first. And when I get my degree, I'm going to move in and see how this job is. So that's why your point stands. But then again, I would go against it also and saying that people do what they want to do in the end of the day and still have the choice of feeling that they love marriage.
Well, I'm not saying don't do it. We're giving different perspectives. This is exactly what the show is about. So I'm just justifying why I believe that couples should first get married before living together, especially to protect that covenant of marriage. And if you classify yourself as a Christian, as a Muslim, as a Jew, all the religious books state, they emphasize the covenant of marriage and the vows that you make before God, if you want to talk about religion. So I'm just expressing my view as to why I believe it is best based on statistics, if you don't believe in statistics, and about the success and the growth of that relationship.
So, question. You're a modern day female, right? If a guy loves you fully and you love him with all your heart, despite the finances, and I know you're not that shallow, and he can't give you that wedding of your dreams, or not even some mini wedding, he can just marry you in court, would you do it?
Listen, I'm sorry.
That's just my.
I'm not gonna entertain a guy like that in the first place.
Look how shallow that is.
Well, at the end of the day,
Easy. Come on. I want to get Easy's opinion.
No, I at least want a wedding. Every woman wants a wedding.
But that's what my point
But it's
is.
something simple. Something simple. It doesn't have to be an extravagant wedding.
Sure, poor guys are you're in court now. Like, I can't marry this. Maintenance woman.
Here's something I want to caution you of. All right. So many times, unfortunately, like for example, people, they have their insecurities and they want to control a situation. So and more times it's the women, because they have this carrot they dangle sometimes, and it's the sex thing. And the caution is they make that the prize, not their heart, not their love, not their compassion, not their commitment, not all their real qualities. They make sex the prize. And it also, so they make it a game. So now the gentlemen have to jump through hoops and do all these things to get the prize, that being sex in this scenario. Well, you don't want to make marriage be the prize instead of your heart, your love, your commitment, your devotion to them, because then it becomes a game. So now they're playing the game they need to play to get what they want, the prize, making it marriage. Marriage is not the thing. The thing is the two of you being in line. So no matter what you face, you're going to face it together for the rest of your lives. So the institution of marriage doesn't necessarily equate to that. So I think the prize should be more. Now, you can have 100%. We're not going to officially formalize this and go on for the rest of our lives without being married first. But you can't make that more important than your heart. You can't make that more important than your soul. You can't sell your soul, make it seem like you're willing to sell your soul just to get married. Because they're not going to worry about the other things. They're going to play the game they got to play so they can marry you. If that's the prize, they're going to keep dangling it out there. They're going to throw that word out there. Man, I can't wait till we get married, because he wants to marry me. And now they got your interest. All they got to do is put marriage in there every now and then. Now they got you. It's more than that, so you have to be careful. So you have to be careful, because if they know that that's your thing, not trust, commitment, loyalty, marriage, if they know that's the buzzword, then they're going to play that against you. They're going to use it. When we're married, we're going to be able to do this so much. Oh, I can see us being married, living in that house. Oh, I can see us married and having 2 or 3 kids.
Wisdom there.
So you gotta be careful. There are some people that you're a good person. They see you're a good person, good lineage, got great friends. They want to be a part of that. Don't play that game. The card they got to keep pushing, the button they got to keep pushing for you is marriage. That's the button they got to keep pushing. Not family. Not I want to have 3 kids. Kids not the button for you. Marriage is the button. So anybody watching this that want to court you, all they got to do is make sure they treat you nice, treat you kind, and keep sprinkling a little bit of marriage. They got you.
The same thing applies. I mean, somebody can also use your type of argument to get out of the commitment of marriage. If that's what the woman wants. If the woman wants a sense of security to know that she's going to commit, this man is going to commit to her through, if she has religious beliefs, that could also be another way of him getting out of making that commitment. Is by saying exactly what you just said now.
This is true. But you have, no matter what, you have to find alignment. You have to be able to sense their energy and their authenticity, and not make marriage be the test. There are much more tests that you can have to find out that person is authentic, that person is right for you, you're equally yoked. There's so much more than them saying they want to marry you, and they're willing to wait to do it. No, we don't got to live together. Do you understand? Do you understand some of the benefits to a player? Y'all not living together. You know, to get married whenever it's right time for us to get married. When you go home and they go home, boom, they out.
Exactly.
How committed can you be? You
Well, if
can
somebody,
get committed and not be committed. So we can play that game. It's the same thing with sex. People think, well, I made him wait 3 months. For you, he waited for you for 3 months. That didn't mean when you went home and he ain't gonna do his thing. You're dangling that carrot.
Love that.
And I'm not saying don't stand by your principles and your morals and want to be married before you cohabitate. That's fine, but you got to be careful of the doors that opens and watch. Because they say, yes, I'm in love with you. I can't wait till we get married. I want to get this in order and that in order. We're gonna get married, and it's 3 months. Now it's 6 months. You think you know him? Do you? You go to 9 o'clock.
Well, it's a time to take any relationship.
You don't know.
Wow.
And that's not do it or don't do it, but I mean, it's all the things you got to consider. All the things you got to keep in mind and consider. But again, it comes back to whatever works for you to get to know that other person, so y'all have the same energy, the same beliefs, the same core values, and then move forward. Whether it's living together or not living together first, whatever works for the both is ultimately going to be the key.
Megan Mukri, her comment says, I love being married and I feel living together before marriage was a very good foundation. I have so many friends who married and didn't live together and now divorced. But like you guys say, each to their own.
And I think that's where we can leave it. I mean, this show has gone so quickly by. I mean, it's a 35-minute show. And I mean, there's a lot we can squeeze in here still, but it went so quickly. TC, I mean, so much wisdom from you. So much. And I think we're going to have you a lot more on in the future.
Definitely.
Well, I thank you guys for allowing me on here. And now I'm glad I know some more people to come visit when we come to South Africa.
Awesome. And we will take you around. you got to
come to America. You got to come to Miami.
Of course.
Yes. So TC, any parting shot, any words you want to give to our viewers? Some wisdom, man.
Yeah, I would just say that you are ultimately responsible for your happiness. No matter what the outside noise and interference and distractions are, ultimately, you are responsible for your happiness.
Oh, brilliant.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, TC.
Thank you so much for being on our show, TC. We appreciate you having me, and I'm sure our viewers enjoyed all the feedback that you could provide to them tonight. Thank you for joining us, and tune in with us again next Sunday at 8 p.m. where we will be having another host guest and a different topic.
Yeah, please like and share the page if you like what you heard. And we would just love to see you and have your comments. Engage, guys, because everybody has an opinion. No one's right and wrong, like Lethea said. I was just joking. It's about having an open mind and having this topic and dissecting it like I love to do. So see you next week.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.